Hello, Bill Terra here for MACROVegan. You may have noticed, if you're interested in nutrition, that there's been this steady trickle of news coming through magazines and newspapers and on television about the fact that it's okay for everybody to eat cheese and dairy again. This is fantastic news for people. People are celebrating in the streets about this. It's been proven scientifically that all of the reports over the last 50 years, thousands and thousands and thousands of studies, both in laboratories and epidemiologically, have all been wrong. And miraculously, they've discovered that eating that cheese diet, that milk diet, that egg diet, all of those things are fantastic for you. In fact, eating yogurt even makes your bones more flexible. That's good news for everybody. All you yoga students out there, you slurp up that yogurt, right? Because that's going to make you more flexible. Well, when I see these studies, I think one thing. I think, where does this study come from? And so I have to do a little bit of work on the internet and Google people and see where things come from. And this latest study that was in the Guardian this week, the lead researcher in that study miraculously just received an award from the dairy industry not more than a few months ago. And isn't that strange? The award was from the Bioscientific Research Council. Talk about a name for a council. Right? And their job is to exploit food resources. And the word exploit is very important here. One thing that we need to know about all of these studies, in fact, two or three things that we need to know about these studies. One is people love to get information that tells them it's okay to do what they love to do. Right? And so if you love to eat cheese, if you love to make omelets, if you love to drink milk, you're going to love this research. It's going to make you feel comfortable and okay, even though it goes counter to the vast pile of research that's telling you just the opposite, right? Just the opposite. So this research project, run by our friend in the dairy industry, picked 29 studies to run through a metadata, compared with thousands and thousands of studies that have been done over the decades. So important to know here, very important to know, science is for sale, and particularly nutritional science. Right? There's nobody that conducts more research into food than the food industry. And what they're looking for is reasons for you to eat their products. It's very simple. It's flat out capitalism. What they're looking at for is the bottom line. Right? They don't want you drinking soy milk. They don't want you drinking rice milk. They don't want you to be using all of those replacement products. They want you to continue using what you use. So that's one thing that we always have to consider. Another thing we have to consider is that nutrition is a much bigger issue than looking at food as a chemical delivery system. It's more than that. Food is our primary relationship to the environment that we live in. And so it has to include things like social justice, environmental impact. It has to include our attitudes about animals. Right? It has to include so much more than simply breaking everything down into minuscule parts and then trying to put it back together, because when you try to put it back together, there's a tendency to put it back together the way you want it to be. Right? And so remember that. Right? Our relationship with the environment is very important, and our relationship with food is very important. Right? And bogus research is out there. In fact, it dominates the conventional news system. So we just have to be cautious with what we do. Now, if you want to eat a healthy diet and you don't know what to do or where to start, there are many places to look, and one of them is on our website, MACROVegan.org, and you'll find Marlene has many recipes in there, and there's articles in there, and there's information that will help you lead a healthy life. Thanks for listening.